Hey guys, I'm Tyrone from the Young Cynics, and welcome to the first ever episode of This Movie Exists, where I break down a movie that sucks, is bad, is boring, is lame, is stupid, is shit, is laughable. So today I'm going to review Countdown, the horror movie with the evil phone app. So let's jump into this shitstorm. So the movie starts and the teen dialogue is so aggressively bad, and throwing it at your face, like, I can't actually compute what's going on, like...
Okay, it's your turn.
Should I text her or what?
Liz Murphy needs to stop posting pics of her food. We get it, Liz. You're vegan.
Wait!
I like to eat what I want, when I want.
Isn't that how you get fat?
What?
How many calories is how you get
Please
fat.
stop.
I never go over 1,200.
The way the app is introduced in a movie like this should at least have some flair, embracing how silly this is, like how Happy Death Day embraces the silliness of the idea. But here it is played 100% seriously. Like, just have fun. You're making a movie about an app that tells people when they're gonna die. No actual human would take this shit seriously off face value, unless they are a dumbass horror movie teen character. So I guess we are working with this sort of a script with these generic horror characters. Also, how old is her boyfriend? He's meant to be a teenager, but seriously! Now, I do like the subtle imagery of background shapes and the shadows moving, but then they just insert sudden jump scares with the classic loud crashing music. This scene right here is something you'd see in a horror movie short, where a person goes through their house with a bunch of dark lights and sounds before we get a jump scare at the end of it all. The build up might be okay, but you just end it with such a blatant jump scare. It just indicates to the audience that you aren't actually able to create any scary imagery. It's like that scene in It 2 with the old lady, where the setup is genuinely creepy with her out of focus in the background, but then you get the ultimate payoff and it's just this goofy CGI creature. Then we get our main character Quinn, played by Elizabeth Lale, who's actually okay in the movie. There's nothing special, but she's not as bad as many of the others in this film. But her intro is so strange, like, this is one of her first lines. It makes us feel like she's an arsehole.
Just 1 minute. Just so you know, if something in here kills me, I am hunting you.
Okay, now I'd like to rant on this movie's dumbass premise. No one on the planet would find the idea of this killer iPhone app seriously. Before it came out, everyone thought it was a joke. This movie is just, it's such a committee think tank type of film. It's so apparent that this is the sort of thing dumb teenagers, like myself, are gonna pay to watch. I mean, they advertised the shit out of this compared to their $6.5 million budget, and hey, I guess they made $40 million, so that's a gain. But I'm here to expose this for the scam it is, like so many others did 3 months ago. Just using footage that'll probably get me a copyright claim the second I upload it, but hey, let's just see how we go. I'll try to be as fair and level-headed as possible.
In case you want to know for sure.
Did the kid in 237 show you that too?
How dare you bring the greatest ever horror movie into this, you heartless bastards! Calm down. Also, Quinn is just a generic protagonist. Oh, she's a nice person who gets attacked by a demon. She has a dead parent, which every horror protagonist has. And she's just an obvious final girl. Wait, that guy's 34? He looks like the age the boyfriend should have been, and the boyfriend looks like the age this guy should have been. This one's 18, this one's 34? Something went wrong. Now, I'm gonna say something inadvertently nice. As a horror movie, this fails, but weirdly, as a hospital drama, I actually like some of the stuff they do in this film. It's not horribly directed, and there are some nice little character moments. We get a scene where the 30-year-old senior student gets killed by the demon. I like this, but I hate the stupid jump scare at the end. And then in this scene, I couldn't stop laughing. She tries to unlock his phone by bringing out his corp and propping his eyes open to get the face to lock. I do, however, like these subtle blink and you miss some shots of the demon in the hallway, but then we get this strange subplot of the doctor and it's really uncomfortable, but this is why I think instead of a stupid horror movie, this should have been a hospital drama, which was like an allegory for the Me Too movement. Call it something like Untold Lies or Doctoring the Truth or something trashy like that. More people would have been talking about it than a forgettable movie with a killer iPhone app. And then Quinn finds this video of a girl who dies filming herself about to die, and then I guess she does. So, how does this get uploaded? She couldn't have because she dies before it. There's no indication that it's a Snapchat video because it doesn't have the little wheel thing on it. Then, okay, let's assume her friend found the phone. She would have had to unlock the phone, take the video off it, but surely the police would have got there first because that would be the response of a rational human being to call the police as soon as you find a dead body. And then if the police got there, and then she would have already tampered with the evidence, and how would she have known? Don't think about it. I'm gonna give myself a goddamn brain aneurysm just thinking about this movie. Just accept that it literally makes no sense. Oh look, the movie's calling itself out. They're the comments from the trailer, which you can actually see are kind of similar. And then we get a jump scare with a loud noise, which you can see from a mile away.
You really sucked in a big sister department.
Because that's what you have your character say when you want the audience to care about them. We get this dickhead, and I'm gonna call him Moss because reference. And this is what I'm gonna call the Han Solo character. Now, hear me out. The badass who is introduced around the start of the second act. They're cocky, confident, and meant to be smarter than everything. But Han is cool. This guy's a dick. Sure, he's confident, but he's not funny at all. And he's clearly a budget version of H. John Benjamin. I mean, just listen to this.
Holy shit, he's good. None of you tell McQuaid that he's good, alright? If you do, he'll leave this shitty program.
He comes off as such an idiot. Sure, he can splurge techno-babble, but when you're a small business, aren't customers like a mother important? So then she orders a new phone, he gives it to her, and hey, it's the slowest processing new phone I've ever seen. Give her a refund, what a ripoff! And now it's time for our jump scare of the scene.
Go around and find out that I'm all sorts of crazy. And I mean the type of crazy where I just found out I'm gonna die, and maybe I feel like taking a white man with me. So the choice is yours. I really don't give a damn.
Relax, man, it was just a fender bender. Jesus.
Hey, mate, this looks more like a fender bender considering how she rammed the shit out of your car. Like, do you have insurance for that? You know, it helps if you get information on the person before you deal with the guy who gets such a weird and overacted introduction. So they bond, this guy's got the same curse as she does, and they go to a bar.
Trust me. Hey, question for you guys. Have any of you heard about this new app that tells you when you're gonna die?
I take it back about his acting. Any man who can say that stuff with a straight face is a true professional. Then we get this scene where instead of getting the fuck out of here, the character just stands there like an idiot waiting for the demon to possess him. Just run! I do, however, like this little thing with the feet here. It's body horror, it's fine. It's probably like that and the subtle shadows in the film, which are the only thing that actually had an impact at all. So then they find this priest who's just another terrible comedic side character. He's like a cartoon. He feels straight out of a Hangover movie or something, and for some reason he's unable to perform the exorcism. And also, the backstory for this app is amazing. It's like an evil clock taking form over many years through the magic scroll of like a demon king, and then now it lives through an app. Like, give me that movie about the prince in battle with his life clock ticking down with some old witch lady counting it down. That would have been so much better than this crap.
Check it out. Now we're in.
He's gonna hack the demon? Wouldn't it have been way better and a bit more creepy if they were simply unable and then the demon hacks the computer back and then does something like this?
You didn't say the magic word. Please! God damn it! Hate this hacker crap.
That's weird. 60 gigs?
What does that mean?
It means it's big, like a season of Game of Thrones on your phone big.
How relatable. Thank you, movie, for appealing to the most common denominator.
32 years, 11 days. Hold on. How long do you guys think the Marvel Universe will last? 40 years? 50?
Oh my god, could you imagine? Jesus Christ. I do like this little piece of humanity. It's awkward, but hey, at least it's not about the stupid plot. Trying to build the characters, even though it looks like it's been written by a guy who only watched The Office and nothing else. Like, this is such a Jim and Pam thing. Okay, this scene right here is meant to be that oh shit scene you get in movies, where you realize that the character who has been slowly building is about to die, and here's the little sister about to bite it. Unfortunately, you don't give a shit about her because she's been constantly mean and condescending to Quinn. Their relationship isn't worth saving. Her and the sister should have been given a more caring and nurturing relationship, where they have each other's back. Quinn would act like a mother figure while the sister helps her through the grief, something like Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin in Zombieland. They've lost a parental figure and they turn to each other. I know it's a weird comparison, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to get at. Then we get another scene of generic build-up, creaky footsteps, and then a jump scare under the bed. Like with most horror movies today, I just want to be scared by the horrifying imagery, not just a startling ghost screaming at my face. Like, remember the chest burster scene from Alien, or the reforming body in Hellraiser, or the entirety of like the original Thing? No, not you. Fuck off.
Hold this.
Little small, don't you think?
It's not the size of the cross, it's the power of the spirit.
Chokema. What the heck is that, you ask? Chokema cock.
This stupid robot dinosaur. Someone was asleep. I took it.
Like this scene where it's meant to be romantic, talking about their childhood, It's like that scene in Blades of Glory where Pam and Napoleon Dynamite are bonding over their childhood trauma.
When I was 9, my dad insisted on having me circumcised to minimize wind resistance.
While driving me to skating practice, my parents were in a fatal accident. My brother and sister blame me for their death, and they forced me to work for them, like a slave.
It's just so strange. Then they go to the priest to get rid of the demon, and to do this they use Costco rock salt. What a weakness. I'm so scared. So they go outside after the supposed exorcism of the demon, and then Guy McLove interest gets hit by a car. Also, they never show the driver, like, wouldn't he get out and see what was wrong? Like, the car doesn't seem that damaged, and couldn't he have got out and helped? But, oh, it was the demon. Okay, then show us the yellow eyes or something. It's never made clear. So she goes to the hospital and decides to confront the creepy doctor guy. So, I'm not a fan of scenes like this where the protagonist is haunting the villain like this, especially in the third act. I like it when the hero is against the tide, only until the last minute, where the hero gains the upper hand. Also, this scene ultimately goes nowhere. The guy doesn't get sacrificed or anything to the demon. He just gets hit with a crowbar a few times. I also found the design of the villain to be so lacking. The only great horror movie design this decade was Krampus. He really looked amazing and the practical effects made for a terrifying design. Now every horror movie villain is either an old crazy lady in raggy clothes or some Palpatine looking motherfucker with hood and yellow eyes. Just make something new and creepy. These are just so bland. Also, how does this defeat her? Does just one person dying ahead of schedule cause her to freak out and shut down? What a memorable character. Yay, a sequel. You can toss that in with Green Lantern 2, He-Man 2, Solo 2, the Jared Leto Suicide Squad movie, Ben Affleck's Batman movie, Man of Steel 2, Ghostbusters. So this end credit scene is meant to be comedic, but that just makes the ending of the film null. They didn't stop the monster, just it from killing them, so good job guys. You didn't help anyone but yourselves. So, Countdown. It's a pretty bland film. It's not as terrible as I've alluded it to be. It's just a generic, bland, corporate formulaic horror movie like 90% of the other horror films that come out today. A gimmick film can work. Look at Happy Death Day. They don't take themselves too seriously. They have fun with the premise. This tries too hard to be a serious horror movie with a stupid premise like a killer app. And the technical aspects of the film, like cinematography and lighting, they're nothing special. It's par with the other horror movies that are made for a similar budget. Elizabeth Lail is actually alright as Quinn. None of the other actors are any good, but the dialogue doesn't really help them at all. The emotional stuff in this movie is extremely cookie cutter, and it's stuff you've seen a billion times, and all of the comedic side characters feel straight out of a Michael Bay movie. So Countdown, this movie exists, and I watched it. So Countdown, this movie exists, and I watched it. So thank you so much for watching guys. Please like and subscribe to The Young Cynics. We'll have a slew of reviews coming out in the following days, so please subscribe to be updated. Until next time, bye.